Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into George Orwell's absolute masterpiece, 1984. But, as you'll see, we're doing something a little different. We are framing this terrifying cold reality through a surprisingly warm, sun-drenched 1980s Southern American lens. Imagine golden sunlight, gorgeous vintage architecture, a beautiful cinematic facade that hides a deeply unsettling truth. Let's get right into it.
So, I want you to really think about this for a second. What if the government didn't just control what you did, but controlled your actual thoughts? Imagine a world where every word, every move, literally every private memory is constantly monitored. Where love and freedom aren't just frowned upon, they're outright illegal. This isn't some far-off sci-fi concept. This is the foundation of 1984. A place where kids spy on their parents, cameras are everywhere, and just thinking the wrong thing? Yeah, that's a death sentence.
Section 1. Welcome to Oceania, the illusion of normalcy.
Okay, so to really grasp this world, we have to talk about the superstate of Oceania. It's locked in this endless, shifting war, and reality, well, reality is just whatever the ruling system, known as the party, says it is. And the face of all this is Big Brother. His face is plastered absolutely everywhere, always with that chilling reminder, Big Brother is watching you. And they enforce this through a terrifying concept called thought crime. Using 24/7 surveillance through telescreens, the secret police will literally track you down for just having a silent doubt. Even an unspoken idea against the party is a massive criminal offense.
Section 2. The Thought Criminal. Winston Smith's Quiet Rebellion.
Right in the middle of this oppressive system, we meet an ordinary guy named Winston Smith. And the irony here is rich. He works at the Ministry of Truth. Winston secretly feels like something is fundamentally broken, which makes sense, because his daily job is literally to erase reality. It's a three-step process. First, he reviews old facts. Second, he completely erases the original historical records. And third, he edits past newspapers so the party always looks right. So if the government completely botched a prediction last year, Winston rewrites history so they look like geniuses. He's a professional destroyer of truth.
Surrounded by all this fake reality, Winston feels totally trapped. Truth basically doesn't exist anymore, so he starts questioning everything. Is Big Brother even real? Is freedom actually possible? And the pressure of all this forces him to do something incredibly reckless. He starts a secret, hidden diary. Now remember, in Oceania, writing your thoughts equals thought crime. By just putting pen to paper and documenting his own mind, Winston is putting himself in extreme, life-threatening danger. He's officially crossed the line. He is a thought criminal.
Section 3. Rebellion and Illusion. The Danger of Hope.
Amidst all this intense paranoia, Winston keeps noticing this young woman, Julia. Honestly, at first, he's terrified of her. He completely thinks she's a spy for the thought police, trying to set him up. But then, in this fleeting, breathless moment in a hallway, Julia slips him a folded note, and it just says, "I love you." Wow, that changes absolutely everything. Because, you have to remember, genuine human emotions are strictly suppressed by the party. Your loyalty is supposed to be 100% for Big Brother alone. So Julia's note? It's not just some sweet romantic gesture. It's high treason. In this world, love is the ultimate rebellion. So, Winston and Julia start this passionate, totally secret relationship. They sneak away to these hidden spots outside the city, just stealing tiny moments of freedom. Eventually, they even rent this cozy little room above an antique shop run by a guy named Mr. Sherrington. And for a while, it feels like they did it. They feel safe, hidden from the telescreens. But here's the brutal reality. Privacy absolutely does not exist in Oceania. Their safety, as beautiful as it feels in that golden sunlight, is just a highly dangerous illusion. Now, during this false sense of security, Winston tracks down a man named O'Brien. He's a high-ranking party member, but Winston is convinced O'Brien is secretly part of this underground resistance called the Brotherhood. O'Brien actually gives Winston a forbidden book by the state's #1 enemy, Emmanuel Goldstein. And this book lays it all out, exactly how the party controls society. They use constant war to keep everyone poor and panicked. They use relentless propaganda. They completely control the truth, and they weaponize fear and suffering. Reading this, Winston feels validated, He finally gets it. He actually feels hope.
Section 4. The Brutal Trap. Betrayal at the Ministry of Love.
Well, that fragile hope, it shatters instantly. Winston and Julia are in their hidden room when suddenly a secret telescreen hidden behind a painting starts talking to them. That kind old man, Mr. Charrington, Yeah, he was thought police the entire time. They're arrested, immediately torn apart, and Winston is dragged off to the ironically named Ministry of Love, which is actually a brutal nightmare prison. And guess who's waiting for him there? O'Brien. The illusion was that O'Brien was a resistance leader. The horrifying reality? He's a loyal party member, and he is going to be Winston's torturer. This was a calculated years-long trap.
O'Brien is incredibly methodical when it comes to breaking a citizen. Step 1, immense physical pain to completely weaken the body. Step 2, relentless mental manipulation. Because as O'Brien makes crystal clear, the party doesn't just want to kill Winston. Killing him just makes him a martyr, right? Their actual goal is to completely break his mind and rebuild it from scratch. They need him to genuinely believe their lies before they finally execute him. So they move systematically towards step 3, ultimate fear.
As the torture continues, O'Brien drops this incredibly chilling truth bomb about the party. They don't want power to get rich or to build some perfect utopia, and it's sure as heck not about truth. Power is purely 100% about control. They want total control over reality itself. O'Brien literally tells Winston that if the party says so, 2 + 2 = 5, and they are going to torture him until his brain actually perceives that lie as absolute mathematical fact.
Section 5. Inside Room 101. The Ultimate Fear.
Winston fights back, he really does. He clings to his memories, to basic logic, and most of all to his love for Julia. But when he still refuses to fully cave, O'Brien takes him to Room 101. This place is specifically designed to manifest your absolute worst, most unendurable nightmare. And for Winston, that's rats. Faced with a literal cage of starved rats strapped to his face, Winston hits his absolute breaking point. It is just devastating. Desperate to stop the horror, Winston screams out for them to do it to Julia instead. Let her suffer, not him. And that is the exact moment the party wins. By forcing him to betray the single pure thing he had left, they destroy his love. The rebellion is completely dead.
Section 6. A Warning for Tomorrow. The Aftermath. Eventually, Winston is released back out into the sun-drenched streets of Oceania, but he's just a hollow shell. He even bumps into Julia in a park, but it's cold, it's dead. They both just blankly admit that they betrayed each other under torture. There's no spark, no love, no rebellion left. Winston's psychological defeat is total. He's sitting in a cafe listening to a broadcast of a military victory, and tears are just running down his face. He has finally won the victory over himself. He now fully, genuinely loves Big Brother. The party claimed everything: his actions, his memories, and his very soul.
Ultimately, what we see here is that 1984 is so much more than just a fictional story. It's a stark, enduring warning for all of us. It warns against the creaking dangers of absolute government control, the total loss of privacy, the active manipulation of the truth, and where blind obedience leads. It shows us how terrifyingly easy it is for a whole population to be subjugated once facts and history just become flexible commodities.
And I think that leaves us with one final, very provocative question to ponder. Once truth is controlled, who controls you? It's a question that honestly feels just as relevant today in our modern world of algorithms and digital manipulation as it did when Orwell first wrote it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to keep exploring complex stories with us, make sure to like and subscribe. Keep asking questions, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.